Hi everybody. Hi everybody. It's your friend Daniel Hutchins. We're back again. Yes, we're back again. Yeah, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins. And we're just reading a little bit of information for you, some quick information updates for you. Do you know that on the website, the business website we call Forbes? Yes, Forbes, for people who like have like lots of money. Yeah. Um Apparently, the popular Japanese pop culture character Charles Aznavour, his helmet from Gundam goes on sale again, but there's a catch. It's a lottery resale of Char Aznavour's helmet from Gundam. It's currently underway. Char Aznavour was one of the main protagonists of the Mobile Suit Gundam series, with his helmet being so iconic. So there's no wonder why a full-size replica was going on sale yet again. However, there's an unfortunate catch to this resale. Firstly, this would be a premium Bandai release. Second, there's a catcher. It's a lottery sale. So that means even if you don't place an order, you won't necessarily win the helmet. Thankfully, you won't get charged if you lose the lottery, but this just feels a little unfair. This is a kind of lottery that tends to happen for extremely popular items, such as the metal build Gundam. But then I wrote about this again, and yet it's safe to say Char's helmet is very popular. For it is. In the narrative of Gundam, Char wears the helmet to disguise his real identity, that which we know of his old name, Castle Daikin, the son of the heir of the Zeon Daikin. So while Hiroyoki Kikuso famously made a younger Zeon Daikin look surprisingly similar to that of the George Lucas back in the 90s, as the picture sees up here. Okay, so he was capitalized and had him murdered as a martyr to fuel the rise to the power to the war. This is why Char, aka Caswell, was so adamant about wiping out the rest of the zombie. So then he knows they killed his father and hence he needed to have a disguise. My only hope here was that in Bandai spirit that they bring this westward to some point, like they do with all the episodes. They try to do them in Japan first, and then they bring them to U.S. That's normally how anime rolls. But as they have done with so many other items in the past, although this mega house, one of their subsidiaries, does make the helmet, so we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, the lottery for the Char Aznavour full-size helmet is underway. The winners are going to get announced on August 19th, but the price point is very steep. It's only at 27,500 yen, or around a trade rate about 186 US dollars. Yep, Mobile Suit Gundam is now available wherever you can watch it on your Crunchyroll and all of your anime um, sources where you would watch that from. Okay, so since that only took me like less than 4 minutes, let me see what else I can talk about. Well, um, I'll tell you guys something, okay? This is from space.com. This does a lot of space related news. Okay, in the world of space movies and shows, we are no stranger when it comes to Star Wars. So yes, this will next topic is going to be about Star Wars for a few minutes. The Star Wars The New Hope will return to theater to celebrate their 50th anniversary, but Disney does not say which version. So no, it's probably not the despecialized edition, but Disney could surprise the Star Wars faithful again when it re-releases in the theater in 2027. When you purchase through the links, you can earn through commission right here on space.com. The original Star Wars from 1977 heads to home theaters in 2027. You see that little photo right there? You see that? Okay, and might not be a big anime thing or some birthday remake for the Star Wars acolytes we were hoping for, but hey, the Star Wars A New Hope will be blasting back in the movie theater to celebrate its landmark of the 50th anniversary, starting in the spring of 2027. So mark your calendar, guys. April of 2027 will be the day where we bring back Star Wars The New Hope for the landmark 50th anniversary. The sprawling space screen opera is set to hit the silver screen again with a special limited edition theatric run beginning on April the 30th and running through the official Star Wars Day holiday we know as May the 4th. This will also be a planet wide event as well, so all international fans do not want to miss out. But which version will it be? That's the $1 million question. We don't know the answer at this time, but we hope to say it's the original one. There's a silver gleam of hope with the pure fans that perhaps Disney might pull this untouched archive print, the original version of the sci-fi special we saw in theater back in May 25th of 1977. But it's unlikely that Disney would want to risk upsetting creator George Lucas. Instead, we'll probably have an expectation of a fresh up 1997 of the 20th anniversary printed to be the star attraction. However, back in June, the British film industry said that the rare version 1977 print of Star Wars on the opening night of the film festival in London was exactly what they experienced by the audiences of the original release. However, by audiences of the fans and series alike, its original release screening was only for so precious people. So then again, a handful of dye transfers Ivy Technicolor's prints produced the first British release. On the initial release we know of the historic event on May 25th of 1977, Star Wars The New Hope collected a domestic box office of about $307 million. This is an astonishment sum at the time, given that it was in 1977, the summer of 1977. So then again, it's since gone through multiple re-releases and global retally about $775 million on an estimated $11 million budget. However, to stay tuned more about the update on the Star Wars 50th anniversary and the re-release to the theater, follow us on space.com and again check out all your Star Wars movies and series on Disney Plus. Okay, so I taught that up. So what else is going on? Well, I can tell you something else. So now, okay, so all right, so now I have some. Now I have some bad news to tell you guys. All right, I got some bad news to tell you. Now they are getting rid of Snoopy. Yes, you heard me right. They got rid of Snoopy. The Peanuts gang might finally have their final curtain call at the parks like Cedar Point, Kings Island, CAROLWINDS, and Kings Dominion as the clock starts to wind down on the long-standing license agreement between Peanuts Worldwide and the newly merged Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Following after the July 2024 merger of Cedar Fair and Six Flags, this company inherited the Peanuts license, which is set to expire on Christmas. While the agreement includes the option to extend out for 5 more years, Six Flags has not publicly confirmed intention on bringing the Snoopy characters back. So, again, the Peanuts gang and Snoopy will probably be taking the axe, which means, in other words, said, the merged Six Flags is now possessed exclusive access to both the Peanuts property, the Warner Brothers property, including the Looney Tunes and the DC Comics. The Warner Brothers licenses are still secured through 2053. However, the long-term, cost-effective solution to the park theme, whereas the Peanuts agreement has about to run out. So the sad news is Peanuts character have been a fixture of the park for decades, particularly in the kids area like Planet Snoopy. But since they got merged, Six Flags has no announced plan to bring Peanuts back. So in the lack of integration combining with the company's strategic emphasis, the portfolio optimization has raised some eyebrows on the questions about what's going to happen to Peanuts. Knott's Berry Farm appears to be one likely exception. However, this California park is a really unique attraction to the Peanuts brand, having incorporated their property prior to Cedar Fair's acquisition in 1997, which is so happened to be the year I was born. Observers anticipate that Knott's Berry Farm may retain the characters, while other parks transition straight to Looney Tunes and DC superheroes. However, online discussions and industry chatter suggest that the Six Flags merger may favor that the Warner Bros. Property, due to the broader character lineup, can temporarily appear in more favorable licensing terms. Therefore, the Peanuts brand is probably going to expire because it will expire. It will. And with the planned closure of Six Flags America and Hurricane Harbor, Maryland, following after this season, the company has signaled a sharp focus halt to maximize all the return of the investment. The cost and limit of the relevance of the Peanuts international properly outside of Knott's Berry Farm may not align to the goal. So therefore, the only way you can watch or see the Peanuts characters is if you go to California to Knott's Berry Farm. Everywhere else, it's going to shut down. So while the Peanuts license remains active until the end of this year, until Christmas, the absence of the renewal announcement and visible shift to the strategy point is likely to have been tradition. So guests are hoping to visit Planet Snoopy and Camp Snoopy and take a photo with Charlie Brown. You might want to do that before this year ends. So, again, because now they're getting rid of Snoopy and the Peanuts characters at Six Flags because now they just bought a merger with another bunch of parks. And now, if you don't get to see Snoopy and the Peanuts gang now, before the end of the year, you're not gonna maybe see them again unless you have like thousands and thousands of dollars to fly to Knott's Berry Farm, which again is in California, which they actually do have retained the license to Snoopy and the Peanuts gang and the Peanuts license. So yeah, okay. I'll see you in the next episode.